Okay, so I'm here with Luis Majano. Luis, the box creator. Welcome, Luis.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. So, what first inspired you to create the box family tools? And how do you see their role shaping the ColdFusion ecosystem?
Well, it inspired me because nothing existed, to be honest. I mean, when I started ColdBox, that was 19 years ago, believe it or not. So this June was 19 years since the first release of ColdBox. And at that time for CFML, you know, we had maybe, I think it was only 2 frameworks at the time. There was not even test frameworks at the time. Probably it was the early versions of MX Unit, if I remember correctly. So it was very early in our ecosystems, and there was not a lot of stuff, to be honest. So ColdBox was the first box, basically, and everything spawned from it. So I think that as we started developing more apps and creating more solutions, you start saying, okay, we need more, right? And obviously all the other ecosystems already had the majority of these things. Right. So it was basically up to us to really build stuff. So that's why we decided to take up that mantle and say, no, we're gonna have to start creating all these tools in order to basically serve the community, right?
Nice.
So that's how it started.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what are the biggest challenges you have faced in sustaining open source project long term, and how do you keep the community engaged?
Yeah, I think it's always interesting, right? Obviously, when you do professional open source, you know, you don't get a barrage of money coming in, right?
Right.
So you have to pick and choose your battles, and you have to supplement it with traditional kind of development work, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that at least at Ortus, what we always said is to have a good balance between what is going to be client work and what becomes open source. Mm-hmm. And that also keeps the developers happy when they have time to develop and be creative. So that was very important for us at Ortus, in that Ortus DNA is that, yes, we want to make sure that we can create seeds that we plant in the community, and that's why we love open source. So it's definitely a challenge when there's not an unlimited budget, right?
Right.
So this is not a startup or getting all kinds of money and everything. So we have to be very creative and good stewards of what we have in order to do open source. So a lot of people don't know this, but it's very challenging. It's very challenging, and we do that for the love of the community, to put all these tools out there and making sure that a community can be vibrant and can have the best that we can offer, right? And we do it with the, kind of the principle that whatever we plant, eventually we will reap, right? And those are kind of the biblical principles that we believe in, and that's how we've been working for 19 years, and we've been doing it without need, and it's been successful in that point. So we do believe that in planting so the community can bring back to us. Right. So that's the biggest challenge, right? To work within constraints. Right?
Nice.
Yeah.
So from ColdBox to CommandBox to the latest additions, how do you decide which tool or framework to build next?
I think many decisions. The majority are client driven. So the majority are like, okay, I'm doing a project for a client, and I have this tool that I don't have, right? So either we search for it, and if there's something available, then we use it. But if not, then that's when decisions come up. Okay, I need to create something to supplant this need. Mm-hmm. Do we create it as a module, or is this something that is going to be necessarily a part of a core? ColdBox, for example. So that's kind of the decision process, right? It's not like we're sitting one day and saying, oh, what kind of feature do I build today, right? I think maybe at the beginning it started a little bit like that. Right. And sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes I think that when you create a feature and you see how productive you become with it, then you're like, oh, what's next? What's next? And what's next? And what's next? Right. So that drives development a little bit more, but the majority of things come from real world problems.
Nice. So can you share a story where open source contribution or community collaboration had a major impact on the success of a project?
Well, there's been many collaborations that have been done by the community back to ColdBox, I would say. I think one of the biggest ones was by Michael McKillop, and he basically contributed the initial beginnings of the CBORM, right? And he was a big Java Hibernate guy. And he sent us a pull request of all these enhancements, and it was incredible. And I think that shaped the future of the CBORM project because of all the knowledge that he had that we didn't. So that's so important for us that the community get involved, because there's so many things that the community knows that we don't know, right? Other problems that they've tackled already, and the reality is that it is going to help somebody, right? So, and most of the time, developers don't share because they feel that they're going to criticize or judge their contributions.
Right.
But the reality is that we've all been there, right? And we really, at least in Ortus, we really want to foment that, right? We're not there to judge your code or anything. We're actually going to help you improve it and help you and say, no, maybe what about this? And we're going to kind of force you to do tests. So if you actually want to do a contribution to any of our products, that's not like, you know, small little things or docs, right? We're gonna, you know, kind of challenge you to actually build test suites and add to our test suites, and it ultimately the developer will become better.
So how do people like, you know, connect you on social media if they won't have, like, you know, want to just get in touch with you? How do they
Yeah,
do it?
definitely. They can look for me in all the social platforms. So actually, if you go to luismajano.com, you'll see all my social information there, from X to, you know, to all the ones. I can't remember all of them anymore, but they're all there. LinkedIn as well. So you can contact me there, and of course, through all the ortussolutions.com as well. You can find all our information there as well.
Sounds
Yeah.
good. Thank you, Luis.
You're welcome.